Hello, this is Christian Gomez from the New American Magazine, and today we'll be discussing an organization called Indivisible, and today we are joined with the New American senior editor, William F. Jasper. We're glad to have you today on the program, Bill.
Thank you, Christian. Pleasure being here.
So I noticed that you wrote an article published online entitled Indivisible Anti-Trump Strategy, Obstruct, Disrupt, Sabotage, Delay, Defame, Accuse, Investigate, Agitate, and Impeach. Who exactly or what exactly is this group Indivisible?
Well, Christian, in the last couple of years since the Trump inauguration, millions of Americans have become aware of this group called Indivisible, which has sprung up all across the country, gaining notoriety most of all for its very noisy, disruptive sit-ins and occupations of congressional offices, its invasion of congressional town hall meetings. Particularly when I say this, I mean Republicans, conservative Republicans, they have particularly targeted across the country, so that when they have town hall meetings, the Indivisible members would show up and be very disruptive, shouting, demanding, etc. And so this has been an ongoing thing for the last couple of years. Many of them had training from the occupations of the Capitol in Madison, Wisconsin, or in other places around the country where they carried on disruption. Some people call them Antifa Light or the Antifa Auxiliary, Antifa being those masked, black-clad anarchist communists who have been rioting around the country for the last couple of years. Indivisible, it takes a little bit more sedate line, but really they are acting in concert with much of the Antifa agenda.
So what exactly is Indivisible's strategy, especially when it comes to the next 2 years of Trump's presidency?
Well, in the article, I mentioned that they came out with a manual, a handbook, for going on offense this year. The last couple of years, they said we played defense because the Republicans controlled the White House and the Senate and the U.S. House of Representatives. And so their main thing was to harass Republican candidates and office holders, and to create as much obstruction as possible to try to prevent any of the Trump agenda from going through. And that meant putting pressure on members of Congress, as well as operating with the media. Now, I began the article by noting that one of the main founders and main spokesmen for Indivisible, Ezra Levin, appeared on Rachel Maddow's program on November 13th on MSNBC, in which he revealed their new manual, Going on Offense. And Rachel Maddow very accommodatingly gave a big promotion to it. She's had Indivisible leaders, including Levin, on the program several times over the last couple of years. So the new manual says we're going on offense. Indivisible is having all of it. They claim to have around 4,000 chapters across the United States with a couple 100,000 activists. So now they say we are going to put pressure on Congress, on the Democrats, to move further to the left, and we're going to continue obstructing the Trump administration, and we're going to call on all members of Congress, particularly the Democrats, to investigate. We're going to investigate, and they want that to lead to impeachment.
So it sounds like they're going to be causing a major roadblock to the Trump presidency through obstructing with the various sort of subpoenas and things of that nature. Now, earlier in this interview, Bill, you mentioned, and also in your article, you describe at least Indivisible as being Antifa light or Antifa without the masks. What ties, if any, does this organization Indivisible have with elements of the radical extreme left?
Well, probably the most prominent one, the connection that we could point to and should point to, is with the Communist Party USA itself, CPUSA. And we have that connection in a number of different ways. The Communist Party USA, of course, is the official U.S. Communist Party that for pretty much the past century was the primary agency of the Soviet Union, of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union during all of that time, in carrying out espionage, spying, propaganda, etc., for a foreign power. And today, the chairman of the Communist Party USA, CPUSA, is John Bechtel. John Bechtel, in his most recent columns about the midterm elections, said that now is the time for unity. We have to have a united front against the Trump administration. And he says our people are already working all across the country in organizations such as Move On, Working Families Party, Indivisible, and he named several others. And of course, we've been reporting on that for the last umpteen years about all of the various left-wing movements where we see these mass organized efforts for the whether it's against the war or whether it's for Occupy Wall Street. Almost all of these usually have a communist cadre, Communist Party cadre that is leading them.
Well, thank you, Bill. That's all the time we have today, but be sure to check out his article on thenewamerican.com and also any follow-up articles on this as well. You'll find them there at The New American. So thank you and good day.